Alrighty, bulking. Most likelihood is, if you're watching this video, you do know what a bulk is, but let's break it down.
This is the spring 2023 bulk. It has begun.
So, I did some scientific research, and basically, bulking is a bodybuilding term referring to a progressive increase in calories consumed beyond your body's needs, along with intense weight training. But the likelihood is, everybody in the bodybuilding community knows that a bulk is just an excuse to eat a shit ton of food, get a little fat, but also gain a lot of muscle. But I am guessing most of you guys already know that. So the point of this video, let's break down the pros and cons of bulking and if you should go into a bulk or not. I think you should. I am coming to the end of my bulk. I am currently 90 kg. I've gained 12 kilograms throughout this bulk, which is about 25 pounds. But yeah, let's get into the first part of the pros. First one coming up is your strength gains. The first pro is, of course, the massive strength gains you're going to get. If you're bulking and you're eating a lot of food, your strength will skyrocket. Take me, for example. About 2 months ago, I was recovering from a shoulder injury. My bench press, 65 kilograms. I was struggling to get 10 reps with 65 kilos. 2 months later into the bulk, I've been pretty consistent with lifting. I've been eating 4,000 calories plus per day. 80 kg moves for 10. It's tough, but 85 kg, I mean, that's a 20 kilogram increase in 2 months. Yes, it's possible.
Yes, it's impossible.
So whether you are some sort of skinny guy or some sort of mass monster, if you are eating more calories than your body needs, if you're in a calorie surplus, there's going to be more fuel for the muscles and the body to actually move weight. I can guarantee now that you're going to break all PRs on a bulk. If you start breaking PRs on a cut, you're just a machine. But on a bulk, you're going to break some PRs. Now, I'm coming to the end of my bulk and I'm planning on doing a sort of PR day, probably with squat and bench. If you're interested in that, that video will be coming soon. So subscribe if you want to see that. Yeah, so pro number 2 is the magic of muscle growth. This is the main reason why all bodybuilders go into a bulk, because it's going to help you build a lot of muscle over a relatively shorter period of time. So the science behind it is whenever you're in a bulk, whenever you're in a calorie surplus, again, there's so much fuel in the body, and if you're eating a lot of food, it's going to be easier to get a lot of protein in. It's going to be easier to get a lot of carbs, a lot of fat, and all those things, especially protein, are going to help with muscle recovery and muscle growth. So if you're on a bulk, it's much easier for your muscles to grow and get bigger. So if you are doing hypertrophy training, whenever you're on a bulk, your muscles will just grow a lot faster. You're going to gain a lot of mass, fat, but also a lot of muscle. So I found a study by this guy, Paul Rogers. Basically, he says it's usually possible to gain 0.5 and 2 pounds of muscle in a month, but usually when you're in a calorie surplus. So yes, if you're maintaining or you're cutting and your calories are low, you could still gain some muscle, but it's going to definitely be on that lower side of 0.5 pounds, which is going to be like 0.2 of a kilo. But if you're in a calorie surplus, you'll probably gain about 2 pounds of muscle a month, obviously dependent on your level of being in the gym. You know, if you've been training for 10 years, 2 pounds of muscle a month isn't going to happen. But if you're relatively new, you know, 1-2 years, you're still very possible to gain 2 pounds of muscle per month, especially if you're on a bulk. So later on in the study, it says about protein and body weight. And basically for my own bulk, I ate about 180 grams of protein a day minimum. Usually it was up over 200, 220, just because it's so easy to eat a lot of protein on a bulk. But minimum was 180 grams, which is about 2.2 times my body weight of 85 kilograms, which was my initial goal weight, but now I'm obviously 90 kilograms, so it's going to be slightly higher. But yeah, 2.2 times your body weight in kilograms is the amount of protein you should be aiming for in a day. Okay, so the final pro, which I'm sure most of you skinny guys is what you're going to look forward to, is whenever you're on a bulk, you're going to be a lot bigger. You're going to start to fill out your clothes, you know, your shoulders might bulge through, you know, your biceps are going to be gripping to your shirt. But yeah, on a bulk, you're going to appear a lot bigger. 10 kilograms is a lot. Even if you think you're a little bit chubby, you're just going to be a bigger person overall. But with that bigger size increase also comes some cons. So let's jump out of that now.
Slow? They called you slow! How dare you call me that?
Yes, obviously being bigger and looking a lot bigger is awesome, but if you play any sports like I do, I play rugby and, you know, I do a lot of rock climbing, being 10, 12, 15 kilograms heavier is going to make you a lot slower. Any agility that you had, out the door. Now, if you had no agility to begin with, you're fine. But if you had any sort of agility, you know, you're 15 kilos heavier, you're not going to be as nimble as fast. Look at, you know, rock climbing, for example, okay? That's what I do, you know? You're holding onto rocks right here under your fingertips. That's all you have to hold up your whole body weight. 2 months ago, when I was 78 kilos, I was flying up rock climbing walls. I went there 3 days ago. I was 90 kilos hanging on to this wall. It was a lot tougher. It's just, it's harder to hold yourself up. You know, you're a heavier person. Rock climbing was much harder. And, you know, you're going to be slower if you're playing, you know, football, rugby, anything like that. You're going to be slow. Yeah. Just take that into account whenever you're bulking. You know, if you're just into the bodybuilding stuff and you don't really care about the sports, just try and keep your cardio up, you know, on the spin bike, on the treadmill, just to keep the heart healthy. And it's just going to make you a little less slow.
Boy, are you fat.
Okay, it's time for the worst con. I mean, it's not really the worst con, but, you know, a lot of people hate this part of bulking. You know, it plays into looking fat and all this, but, you know, at the same time, you've put on a lot of weight. There's a lot of muscle there. You know, be happy with your gains. But yeah, con number 2 is the mirror, okay? When you're on a bulk, you're gonna look kind of fat, okay? The abs that you used to have are gone. You know, you're gonna have a belly, you know? You're gonna have a beer belly that your dad might be proud of. And yeah, most people don't want to see that, but you're bulking, you've got excess fat. You look in the mirror, you might not see as many veins, but at the same time, stick true to your bulk. You know, keep going, you'll have a cut eventually, you'll get your 6-pack back. The good thing is, some magical guy, I'll look up his name. Yeah, this awesome guy, you know, Christian Dior, he invented oversized clothing. On a bulk, he's going to be your best friend. You're going to stock up on some oversized tees, oversized hoodies, and yeah, no one's going to see that fat little belly whenever you're bulking. Can't believe I just said that, but yeah, that's, you know, just wear an oversized hoodie, stick to the bulk, you'll be fine.
That is a lot of Chinese food. Good thing I'm very, very hungry.
Okay, so my last con is kind of like a pro and a con, but basically it's trying to eat all that food. You know, 5,000 calories might not seem like a lot until it's right in front of your face and you realize it's literally like 15 Big Macs and you're like, how am I going to eat all this? Especially if you're like me and, you know, you were skinny for a long time and you really had no appetite. So eating all this food is just like, how? I cannot eat this all. I cannot get it down. I remember my first bulk when I was like 16, when I was playing rugby, I used to buy a bag of Jelly Babies every day and it had like 480 calories. So if I was short on my bulk, if I didn't reach my calories by that point, I would just shove all the Jelly Babies, force feed them into my mouth, and that would usually get me to that 4,000, 5,000 calorie mark. But yeah, I mean, some people just don't realize that 5,000 calories is a lot of food. Now, that's the negative part. That only affects some people. You know, some people could eat that food all day long. You know, the good thing about eating a lot of food is you can have a cheat meal like every single day. Yes, clean bulking is important. But man, when you're on a bulk, you can have a McDonald's. And whenever you're having a McDonald's, you don't have to stop at one Big Mac meal. I'm a big fan of the McSpicy. My McDonald's meal right now is a McSpicy meal, banana milkshake. You know the wee small chicken mayo burgers? For them, 20 box of chicken nuggets, you know, probably throw in some sort of chicken select or something, and a banana milkshake. That'll add up to like 2,300 calories. You can eat that in one sitting. It's fast food. It gets the calories in. Is it healthy? No. Are you bulking? Yeah. So, you know, splurge a little. Eat some bad food on a bulk. That's fine. Whenever you're cutting, you're not going to be able to do that. Yeah. So, there you have it, folks. Thanks for tuning in. You know, I've been working on this channel for a wee while, making some gym vlogs. I'm trying to change the content up a wee bit, see how it goes. Yeah, if you've made it this far, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I've got a couple big videos coming up. I've got a PR day coming up, and then me and my buddy are gonna try testosterone and have a challenge to see who can gain the most muscle. So yeah, see you later.